We would be honored if you would join us.
And who might you be?
You stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder. I love you.
I know.
Hello and welcome to Frozen in Carbonite. For this video I am going to be playing a solo LCG game, and those of you who've seen what I've been posting lately, so solo LCG seems to have taken off quite a bit. I think there's a lot of people out there who bought the game, collected the game, but never got a good chance to play it one-on-one. But I've now found this solo variant rules that has been out there for a little while, and it's picking up quite a bit of the community. I myself have always struggled to get games in, so I've always been relying on Skype or actually going to places to play with people. But now that the game stopped and there's no longer any organised play, that's become a lot more difficult. So I've spent, since my last video, probably just designing cards and trying to boost the community. But now I've decided to dip my toe into this solo variant, and I've done 2 games so far, so I'm still pretty new to it. But it's a very interesting concept. So I guess my first point before I actually get into running the game is for just a little background. So most people know that I'm what would considered a veteran player, so I've been playing since 2013. So I know the game pretty well, and I think the first thing for anyone who is a veteran of the game who might consider picking up solo is you've got to think of this as an actual completely different game, to be honest. So you basically got to do what Yoda says, you've got to unlearn what you have learned, because there's quite a few different concepts that are going in here, and the biggest one that was my struggle is that the AI deck will only attack once, and you as a player will only attack once unless you've got an attacking alone unit that you can attack with. So that really makes the mechanics of the battle and everything quite different, which probably makes me think that, thinking of the whole card pool, there's going to be some objective sets that work well and some that won't with this variant. But that's for us to discover as players. I know a lot of people that have been playing it recently and more new to the game, so they've been playing a lot with the core cards. I'm hoping if I do get into this and this takes off, then maybe this gives me a chance to actually show you how some of the cards that I've been making work, and get to show them off a bit, and we can also see if they're broken or not. So where do we start? So I am playing the same decks that I posted up the other day that I had my second game with, so I'm going to do a rerun of that because that seemed to work really well. So I am playing the light side. So as a light side player, yeah, pretty much stays the same. You play as normal. So we'll just go to this dark side setup. So first thing, Dull is at 0. Forces on the light side as normal. Got 3 random objectives for the dark side. Preparing these decks. So the AI deck has a command deck, which is main deck. It has a hand and a fate deck. So to prepare the fate deck, you take out all the non-pip cards out of the command deck, shuffle it up, then draw 6 and put it in this pile. Then you shuffle the non-pip cards back into the deck, shuffle that up, then draw 6 for the hand, and the command deck stays there. And that's it. So let's start things off. Let's start by revealing objectives. So I know what my objectives are, but I don't know what the dark side objectives are. So first off, we have, oh dear, Dark Lord of the Sith. Right, so off the bat, I'm right up against it anyway. Then we've got Order of the Inquisitors. I'm sorry about the glare, but the best I can do. So that's Order of the Inquisitors under there, and on this one is one of my new ones. It's the Purge. So if you don't know the Purge, it's after an enemy objective is destroyed, draw 1 card for each Inquisitor unit you control. which is interesting, but gives 2 resources, so the dark side are going to get a good start. Right, so that's the dark side objectives revealed. I need to draw my hand for the light side, so I'm running a reserve 7 deck. So 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, what have I got? I've got a hand, I could say. I'll keep this for now and see how we go. You know, I might be, as usual, I'm never sure about my hands half the time these days, so I'll never know if I'm doing the right thing or the wrong thing. Right, so that's my hand. So I am running and Trust in Force, which is Turret's Fallen Order, which is my new Cal Kestis one, and a Mother's Nest, which is the Emphas Nest one. Right, so those are my objectives. They've got their objectives, everything's set. Let's go. So balance the force, dial starts at 0. Right, now we do the refresh phase for dark side. So we don't actually put tokens on the objectives when we are running the resources. We basically just get a resource count. So at the moment we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they'll get 5 tokens. And then that's the end of their refresh phase. Got nothing out. Then it's just a matter of drawing off the top of the hand deck and seeing what you can play for them, which can sometimes be good for me as a player or sometimes be bad. So we'll see. Right, so first up we've got a Purge Trooper. It's a 2 cost. Remember we've got to sing the Ordering Inquisitors, so that can help reduce the cost of something. So spend 2 to put the Purge Trooper out. So then we go for the next card. Right, so we've got a Force Choke. So Force Choke is free because it's an event. It stays in a sort of like a limbo area until it can be played. Now, reading the solo variant rules for events and triggers, it does say you should trigger the AI events at the most at the point when they can be triggered, and it says sometimes even if it's less beneficial. Now, depending on what type of player you are, and if you really want to try and maybe test a deck that you maybe want to take in a 1v1, then you might consider actually playing some of the AI events when you think they most should go off. So whilst it is an AI deck, sometimes I feel like actually I'm just playing both decks together and seeing how good the dark side can combat what I'm going to throw at it. So sometimes I'm thinking I'm going to make some decisions that might go against what the solo rules say, but in a more thematic in the way I know the game, I'm used to the game playing, which is probably harder for us veteran players, is to trigger them when I think they should. So Force Choke stays in limbo. Then we go for the next card. Sith Lightning. Blimey, from the events now. So I am in trouble as soon as I get my guys out. Problem now is I know these events are coming, so pay 3 for that. So the only good thing for me is that they've only got 1 unit out. Fortunately, if I do go ahead and attack, I'm gonna die. So I'm gonna have to be careful on what I do. So that's the end of their deployment phase. There is no combat on the first turn, just like the normal game. So we go to the force phase. And this is another part of the game which is very difficult to get your head around, which makes it very, I think for certain light side decks, going to make it very difficult to play against some of the stronger dark side decks. So dark side gets to commit 1 card a turn, but they will always count those icons even if they're exhausted. When you come up against a deck like these Inquisitors, once they get all the mains out, they will be running a very high force count, which is going to be very difficult to counter. So if you are going to be playing this regularly, I think your deck building style might change on who versus who, because I think you're going to be looking for more removal, because you're definitely going to have to get you can't rely on focus tokens to keep these guys off the force. You're going to have to get rid of them off of it. Meanwhile, though, focus tokens do help in allowing you to attack as best you can when you only get your 1 shot on an objective. So it's going to be difficult. So move on to the force phase. Purge Trooper goes on. That goes to the dark. And that is the end of the AI player's turn. Right, so my turn. So balance, nothing. Refresh, nothing. I've got 4 resources and not in a good place. I want to drop a resource, but I've got no good cards. So just to show you what I'm running, I've got Protection, Twist of Fate, Cow's Lightsaber, K2SO, Saw Gerrera, Rebel Plea, and Refined Coaxium. So those would be good to get out, but those guys are expensive. So I'm going to start by doing my generic discard 1 card. Seeing as Cow's Lightsaber can be played from discard, I'm going to get rid of that and draw a card. And I get another event. Great. Alright. Because it's very difficult, you do not want to lose pace. I do not want to get caught into a turn where I have to not be playing people. Now I can't afford to saw, because I knew it'd be better if I actually had some reg units in play. So it looks my so I've only got one choice. I want to keep this going. I'm not going to be able to take the force this turn. At least if I play K2SO, he's not going to be nuked by a force trick. So I'm going to play K2. So normally play 1, 2, 3, 4. He's in. Right. Fortunately, we are screwed with the Dark Lord of the Sith and me only being able to play 1 unit, so it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be attacking, and then I'm gonna die anyway. Maybe I should have played no one, but it doesn't matter. It's going to happen. I'm going to have to get rid of that Force Lightning, so I am in a bit of a bad state here, and it was the only unit I had. This is not good for the light side, so goes to the conflict phase. Trigger Dark Lord. Dark Lord forces me to put 1 on that. Force Lightning goes off. Boom. K2SO dies. Boo. And that, I'm afraid, is that. Right. So dark side turn. This is going great. It might be a really quick game. So dark goes to 2. Just generate our resources. No one needs to refresh. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 3, 4, 5. Then it is the draw phase for the dark side. So we haven't used the fate deck yet, but they've only got 3 in their hands, and they get 1, 2, 3. And then what you do is you then give this a shuffle. Sometimes it can be to your benefit or against your benefit. Right. So next we have Fifth Brother. So he comes in for 1 cheap. Remember, for all the Inquisitors, so I'm only paying 3. We do. And then press for answers. 1 cost event. Look at the top X cards of your opponent's deck. Discard 1 of those cards and return the others to the top of the owner's deck in any order. X is the number of unique character units you control. So I'm having to pay 1 for that. And that's my discard. I've only got 1 Inquisitor, so I get to look at the top card. Oh, it's a good resource, Double Kyber, and I'm discarding that, I believe. Yep. Great. Yeah, this is not going well. Right. So now we come to the conflict phase of the dark side. So technically you have to split your units up to attacking and defending. Seeing as we've got 2 units out, the likelihood is one's going to go one way, one's going to go other. This one has got blast on it, and obviously the Purge Trooper hasn't. So the Fifth Brother is going to be an attacker, and the Purge Trooper will be a defender on the next turn. So Fifth Brother is going in. He has to attack the top one, so he's attacking Trust in the Force. So unfortunately a lot of his stuff's going to be wasted. So he got edge 1, but there's no defenders, so there is no edge. Now this is another variant of a way you can play it, is that sometimes obviously fate decks will have cards that will benefit the dark side if they are played, like targets of opportunity and stuff. So I should give the dark side the actual chance of, do they want to play a card. So using the trusty table, which is the main thing I have to reference because I can never remember it, is we using the optional edge battle rule is to roll the dice. So to begin with, we roll a dice and we get 4, so we will put 1 fake card in. Right, now that I have 1 more fake card than the other player, because I'm not participating, it's going to be 4 or more. Alright, get another 1. Sometimes this can be a benefit to the dark side because I can deplete the dark side deck. Now that I've got 2 or more, there's less likelihood of it passing it, so he's going to pass. Chances are there any good cards in there? No. So we've killed a telekinetic strike and a 7 of the dark side, but he won the edge. And now he gets to attack, so he does 1 damage. His focus doesn't go anywhere because he can't do it, but thanks to Fallen Order, while you control less force users than your opponent, your Jedi objectives cannot suffer unopposed damage, so he isn't doing too much. So that's the leftover resource for there. That's for that. Probably made a mistake, I think. I should have, after I played Press for Answers, I should have drawn another card. Too late now to go back on that, but yeah, even I make mistakes. Right, so he's done. He's on the defense, and then goes to the force phase. He goes on the force. Now they've got 4 on the force, and I am really up against it. Right, so over to the light side. Balance, nothing. Refresh. Right, what we're going to do, we have to ditch something. Good, edge cards. And ditch refine coaxium, so these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to draw 2 cards. Hope for something good. Right. And don't have enough resources. Maybe I should have just bought the bullet and put the resources out and played no units. Bad me. Right. Let's put the rebel play down for 1, 2, because I need rebel resources as well. I need to get my resources started. Right. Then I will. So it's going to be rough. Focus rebel play to discard a card. Partisan soldier to draw 2 cards. 2. Oh, yeah. I've got a good unit. I can't play her. I actually can't play any unit. Oh my god, I didn't draw. I've got a really resource screwed on my side. Too many Jedi objectives, not enough rebel. Right, so this is really going down the pan for a first game. Not good to show people, but that is the way of the world. Right, so I've got Sora, I've got Jin, I've got Benfic, and I can't play any of them. Great. Right. So, that is the end of the light side turn. Let's move on to the dark side turn. So, dial to 4, where things really start to ramp up now. So, once again, 5 resources on top of the one I had left over from last time. So, yeah, I now have 6. How many do they have in the hand? 1, 2, 3, 4. So draw 2. Shuffle that. And they use 2 in their fate pile. So we do 1, 2. Shuffle that. So that's ready, and here we go. More dark side units up. He comes off. So ID9 Seeker Droid. Woohoo, and it's free. Not good. The Grand Inquisitor. Ooh, enhancement title. Enhance a unique Force user unit. So the 5th brother has been promoted to the Grand Inquisitor, which is fitting now because seeing he is the attacking unit, he's going to get some more blast damage. Great. That goes on there. So yeah, paid for that. Actually, I didn't need to pay for that because it's an Inquisitor card that comes in for free. So I'm still on 6 resources for the dark side. That would be nice. So 2 cards in. Another press for answers. Woohoo. Right, seems we still only have 1 unique. Look at the top card. And it's Heat of Battle. I think we'll discard that. Then again, it's not a unit. I could really, if being the dark side, I really should screw myself over because it's not a unit. But what the hell, we'll discard it. Right, next card, Seed of Decay. So that goes on to the Fate deck. Ooh, running out of hand. Oh, Sith Library. So Sith Library comes into play. Means I gain a resource. That's the way I play it, is when a resource comes in, I can play, get a bonus. Well, actually, it's 1 for 1, so it just pays for itself. So I should still be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then last card, another 5th brother, which I can't play, so it goes onto the Fate deck. So ooh, I might have got lucky that turn, seeing as no big hitters came out. Fortunately, they've got a stonking edge hand. Right. We'll go from there, and the resources next turn is going to be incredible because they didn't barely have to pay for anything. Oh dear. Right. So once again, splitting into attacking and defending. Right. So obviously 5th brother once again will be an attacker. Purge Trooper will be a defender. The ID Seeker Droid, now this is interesting because it has a good attacking ability that it can raise the unopposed bonus. Unfortunately, these aren't getting no unopposed bonus, so there's no point him going into the battle. So defending wise, it should be these 2 to that one. Keep my resource there, and my facial force check enabled. Right, so once again, conflict. Shuffle this up because we put a new card on there. Right, 5th brother going to attack Trust in the Force. Let's see what he rolls. A 2. I don't think I'm putting a card in. I wish I could remember things. Same number of cards. Yeah, I'm passing with edge 1. So he's now doing 2 damage to that. 1 from here and 1 from this. He strikes. He's now 2 focus tokens, and that's the end of the conflict phase. Right. So, end of turn, Force phase. We can actually put another unit on the Force. What do we want to? But it doesn't matter. So they're now on 5, and I haven't really got any way of getting that Force back up. Right then, Back to the light side. Balance. Nothing. Refresh. Not looking good. Right. I need to get rid of someone. And it's going to have to be... Breaks my heart. I'm going to get rid of Saw Gerrera because I need to be drawing some cards. So, draw a card. Yeah, got cheap unit. A cheap unit I don't mind focusing. Right, we might actually have a turn on our hands. So, but still don't look great going off against Purge Trooper and the Seeker Droid, but I might have tricks up my sleeve. Right, so let's do this. Cloud Rider for 2. And then Jinna, so 4, 1, 2, 3. Right. And that is my turn. So moving swiftly on, we shall move to the conflict phase. Right, so conflict phase happens, start a lot of triggers, put it on a Cloud Rider. If I had this open, I have a trick with Jin, with her, the way her text works. Oh, I could get her in the barrel, or get her to double strike. Right, I need to start laying some damage down. No, actually, in fact, I'm going to go back and not play Jin. I'm going to play Benthic instead. Some more damage. I'm up against it. Jin will come out later. Right. We will send Benthic against Dark Lord of the Sith. And they will defend with the Purge Trooper and the ID9 Seeker Droid. Right. So this is where it gets very interesting. So I'm obviously going to put this fake card in. And then I'm going to have to hope I roll really high for the dark side and catch them out. Right. So put in a fake card. Right. I'm going to... actually, I might make some decisions here. No. Keep those. So I'm going to pass. So I like those cards. So we're still level. Oh, damn. Roll a 1. Not great. So dark side passing. It's probably seen through my bluff. So you put a 5th brother in, or I put in a Twist of Fate. So discarded. It's discarded. So start again. Right. I'm going to put this one in. Then he will roll. He's putting 1 in. And then I will put 1 in. And then roll 2. Yeah, fortunately he puts 1 in. I'm going to pass. We level. Oh, puts 1 in. This thing can go really south with me. Pass. Roll a 5. Damn it. That's 4th 1 in. 3. And I think that's game over because he now has 2 more cards than I do. Yes. Right. So now I'm more likely to lose unless these are all low. Oh my god. 7th Sister, Palpatine, 2nd Sister, and Seeds of Decay. Alright, luckily Seeds of Decay won't go off because I have no ready committed units, but he's definitely won the edge battle. Meanwhile, I have Heat of Battle and a Protection. So, Protection, I will... Well, I'm screwed anyway because Benfica is going to lose, so it's going to be leaving play. So, not good. I'm going to be on the Cloud Rider. So I might as well keep him active if possible. What we're going to do, I might as well just heat a battle the droid, get rid of him. Right, so that happens. That goes in my discard. Because I lost the edge battle, he return this unit to your hand if he's participating. We do have some good news though, thanks to Mother's Nest. After a rogue unit is played during the engagement, do 1 damage to a target enemy objective. Yay! Boom. So, laid my first piece of damage. Unfortunately, right, this guy strikes out. And he is done. Oh, right. The trials are going up against the Sith. Right. That ends my turn. There isn't really anything else I can do. So let's get on with the dark side's turn. Oh, what have I forgot to do? Benfica should have taken the damage anyway for the force choke, so also we'll play that, even though he wouldn't have died. And yeah, dark side turn, so Dial goes to 6. Still, once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gold. So I've got 8 resources to play with. Sith do love their resources. Right. Now it's time to refresh those hands. So Fate deck has got 3 cards in. 1, 2, 3. Shuffle that up later. And then this hand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll shuffle that up. Problem of using cheap penny sleeves is it makes the cards very slippery. Right, and here we go, ready for some pain. First card is Saris. Well, I've seen better. And maybe one day I'll have to fix her, maybe. So that's 4. Unfortunately, she's not an Inquisitor, she doesn't come in for cheaper. That'd be the first thing I would change. Alright, fake card. No one expects the Inquisition. Next card. Swarm Link. Ooh, enhance an Inquisitor. During the deployment phase, this enhancement. Yeah, I can put ID Seeker Droids in, so let's stick that on him, as it's a resource also. It comes in. Seeing as I do have an ID Seeker Droid in my discard pile, and it's usable, I'll go ahead and trigger it. So spending a resource will be like focusing units, so get an ID Seeker Droid out. I think that's, I wonder if I've got any more in there. Right, so dark side need to get rid of this one so they can make use of their ID Seeker Droids at the moment. So he comes into play. Right, still got resources. Next card, Emperor's Royal Guard. Bloody hell, I really need an event that just wipes the board. So it's another 2 gone. Next card, another Seeker Droid. Why did I design these cards? And the last card, a Purge Trooper, which we can't play because we don't have enough. Right. Well, this is interesting. Right, so we've got 2 guys out of the game, which then leaves us with these 4 units. Once again, because this is nothing that up, they become useless. The Royal Guard's a defender. I think for interest of fairness, if you follow the rules, then maybe we'd split them 2 up like that. So we have Saris and ID Seeker going as a pair, and these 2 back on the defense. Right, so, yep, let's do this. So, they'll go in, let's shuffle up this, and hope I can roll high, even though, so I can deplete their fake card for my next turn, and have a chance of winning. Right, so, back to the table. Same number of cards, or no cards, so puts in, oh, they just instantly pass because they're the defender. I mean, they're the attacker and no one's opposing, so anyway, they win the edge. No point spending the resource to trigger that. So, fortunately, this objective is still not going down, so Saris will do a bomb. And she will do a tactics, which will go on here, which I'll shield. And then they're just both focused. Well, hey, and as you can see, if you aren't clearing the board and you're working in a small space, this gets really difficult to manage. Right, so that concludes the dark side's turn. Still, that's my saving grace at the moment. It's slowing them down enough that they're not, at least they're not taking out objectives. Right. I believe that concludes everything. Force phase, right, so they've got one they can put on the force. Put Saris on the force and actually use her ability. So Saris goes on the force and she forces the Cloud City suit to go on the force, which I'm sure he loves. So he's in there, and that is the end. Right, so light side turn balance, nothing, never going to be anything. Refresh. Alright, what's in my hand? I've got 3 cards. I like you, I like you, and I like you. So let's draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Interesting. So I'm up against some defenders that I might die. So I've drawn Chewit and Baze, and I've got Jin and Benthic, but I haven't got many rebel bits and pieces. I'm wondering if I can make use of this objective before it goes boom. At least I can get some money's worth out of a unit. So I really regret not playing those resources on the first turn. I've got to get through a Royal Guard and an ID Seeker Droid. It's not good. What are we going to do, people? Now the problem is their edge stack is killing me, so Benthic's probably not the great play here. Torn between Chewit and Jin. If I play Jin, I haven't really got much else I can play. Could play Baze with guns and try and clear out some of these defenders. It might be the best approach. Because I know they're going to have to defend, and they're going to be defending with these guys. This is why you have to change your mindset on how you do this. So if we get Baze out there first, I don't think that objective is going to hang around long enough for me. Likelihood of Chewit dying possible. No, it can't kill me outright because I'll shoot and I'll probably kill the droid before he kills me. I do like Baze, he can clear out a lot of people. Let's try it this way then. I might live to regret this. So Baze is going to be 3. And shall we put a heavy repeater cannon in him? Gets elite and damage from his guns. Hey, why not? We've got the resource and everything. So, thematic wise, Baze with his heavy cannon, heavy repeater blaster, so heavy repeater cannon, sorry. Boom. He's come out to tell them there are no Jedi here. There are no Jedi no more. Alright. So, that's that done. I could get some more card draw for the phase. Let's see what happens. Yeah, focus that. Draw 2 cards. Oh yeah, got another copy of Jin. Ooh, and the blood that brings life. That might be useful next turn because that is a powerful card. Not too powerful. Seeing as I know my deck's loaded with rogues. Okay, right. So I've got possibility of having a good force hand, and I can divide my damage up. So great. So moves to conflict phase. Cloud Suit Rider is going to have to be Dark Lord of the Sith. Right, so Baze is going in at Dark Lord of the Sith. These two are coming out to defend. Sorry if it's very cramped. So understand that. So these are defending, he's attacking, going here. Right, what are we going to do? I am going to throw a Jin in, and then the dark side. Get really lucky. No edge. I have one more. Right, so they put one in. Oh, did I shuffle that? I'll make sure I just shuffle that. Right, so they are putting definite one in. Right. Next. Give up the main man. Right, so that's 2. 3. I think that's adding a card. Yep. I'm gonna pass. 4. Adding a card. Please roll low. 3. Passing. Yes. Alright. I have a result here. So I have given up Jin and Chewit for 6, and they have put in right. Got 1, 2, 3, and then no one expects the Inquisition, which might just get away with. For this edge battle, this card gains +1 force icons to maximum 3 for each Inquisitor unit you control. Luckily, I only control 1, so this is getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I win the edge battle. Amazing. That didn't work out well, did it? Right. So Baze is now going to down. Right, so altogether now he has 4 guns, and he gets to deal a hell of a load of damage to everyone. So goodbye these two. You instantly get Fate. Boom. So he then does 1 and 1 unopposed, and he is focused. Baze clears out defenders. Hopefully I can get him taken out these guys, because I am going to need it, because I am running out of time. I'm not even destroyed objective, and the dial's going to be at 8. No way of taking the force. Not looking good. But that's the end of my turn. At least I've got some presents at last. And now we go back to the dark side. So, dark side goes to 8. Refresh. 1, 2, 3, 4. These guys aren't elite, so they're still out of it. That means if I can get lucky, right. So, resource wise, though, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not good. I have a fear the Emperor might be on his way. So right, that's their resource pile. So the Fate deck has got 4 cards in, so it needs 2. I'll shuffle out before the conflict phase, and the draw card, they've got one left, so they need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shuffle that up. Right. And some painful stuff now. Here we go. Bones of the Fallen Master. Enhance an objective you control. After your opponent conflict phase ends, if no engagement was declared, enhance objective that phase, deal 1 damage to each enemy objective. Well, as a dark side, I would put it on the least one that they would damage, which would more likely be that one. Great, that's all I needed. And next up is another Sith library. So 1 for 1 pays for itself. Purge Trooper 2. Seeker Droid. God, I just need the 7th sister now to come out, and she'll be rocking. Oh, I called it. The wrong 7th sister. Damn it. Well, maybe good. So it's the other 7th sister. not my designed 7th sister. So that's 4. That's the only problem. Normally people would play in their own time on a bigger desk, because I'm trying to fit it all in one video. It looks terribly cramped up. Anyway, last card that the dark side can play is Vader. But he can't come out because there's not enough resource. Did I get lucky, or did I? Oh, I don't know. Probably not. Right, so these guys are out of it. Now we've got 5 people to decide who's going to attack and who's going to defend. And the likelihood is First Trooper will be defender. They're both worthy attackers. Maybe because Saris is on the Force, she would be considered a defender. With these up, see, this is where I loosely go off the rails of the solo rules of like selecting who does what. So I'd probably put one of them in there and have 3 in it. So we have a 2-3 split, and we'll do it like that. Right. So they automatically go into the top. Right, let's see if they actually want to throw any edge cards in their craziness. They don't need to. The 7th Sisters text though is a bit interesting, so I haven't actually. I think I played that wrong when I've been playing it the other day. So if I was defending, I would have to put all my edge cards I want to put in first, and then she'd do hers. Do just rolling the dice. So anyway, let's see if she wants to put any in. Terrible with this table. Well, it should be easy to understand. 4 and a 3. Pass. Symbols. There's an Emperor's Royal Guard. Alright, which means what do. So she'll strike first. She will focus phase. She's the deadly, and she'll do 1 objective damage, which blows up an enemy objective, which is going to trigger a lot of stuff. So that goes. That's dead. Dial goes up by 1. First one's on 9. It'll be over soon, people. Right, then this triggers the purge. After an enemy objective destroyed, draw 1 card for each Inquisitor unit you control. So we control 1, 2, and 2. So they get to draw 2 cards into their draw pile. Now, there's a bit funny one on that one when Dark Side gets to draw cards, because I'm wondering if there'd be a benefit for them mid-game, whether you should maybe divvy up the draw cards between the draw pile and the fate pile. So maybe that would be something I'd talk to the rest of the community with, whether we should split it up or not. At the moment, I think the rules state that they just go onto the draw pile, which provides no benefit really at all. But if we went onto the fate pile, it means they have a lot more cards to use for their edge battles, which would be a benefit for them. We'll see. Right, and the IDC card still, because Fallen Order's there's no point in paying. I do have to pay a resource to declare as an attacker. Oops. So yeah, they focus out. Right, these boys move up. And that is the end of the Dark Side turn. So it's getting a bit cramped over here. We now have the opportunity as we move to the fourth phase, as we have to take someone off, put someone on. Right, so Seven Sister will have to go on, and the likelihood is we'll take the lowest person off. The most beneficial one would be to take the fifth brother off, but I don't like that. So I'll put Seventh Sister on and do it like that. So that's how we stand. So I'll move those together to try and make some space. I've got these 3 left to defend. Right. They win the force. Light side turn. Here we go. So refresh. 1, 2, 2. And unfortunately, Baze is elite. Probably should have put. I forgot about that. It's in this text because of the repeater. Probably should have put the tactics on someone else. But nah, targeting would have suggested that it would have gone there. Right, new objective is the sacrifice we make. I'm not sure that's too great at the moment, but here we go. And how many cards I have in hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's draw 2. 1, 2. Oh, we're getting some of the big hitters now. Right. Who do we want? Who do we love? Right. Problem is, can Benfic get a... I'm worried that I can't, with him, I can't beat this fate deck. So, I have other options. Unfortunately, Emphis isn't good until I can get her committed. She also has an interesting thing, and I've got 5 resources to play. I am going to play Jin and then save the last one for my event. I'm going to have some fun, see if we can do this. Fortunately, I might have way too much damage for the event. So let's play for Jin. 1, 2, 3. Jin comes out. And we'll leave the other 2 open, because my edge hand is actually terrible. I am not going to win edge. So the question is, will I survive? Unlikely not. Not the amount of guns they're packing. Oh no. What are we going to do? Right, anyway, move to the conflict phase. Fortunately, we want to attack, well, we'll trigger that to begin with, which we're going to stick on the Cloud Rider, the poor guy. And the thing is, if I don't attack, after no engagements go against that, deal 1 damage to each enemy objective. That really ain't going to matter in a moment. I can ignore that now. I'm not going to be fooled by the bones. I didn't need to get rid of Darth Maul and the Sith. It's going to be way too late. And tell you what, seeing as Baze is packing, and he might have enough damage to at least clear some of these guys, we will do the reckless thing and send Jin and Baze in, and I'm going to try some janky stuff with Jin and see if I can get her to clear or to focus out some people. So we need to focus out to some defenders. I'm at the point now I'm willing to let my objectives die. Right. So Baze and Jin in. These three are defending. And I'm not actually thinking about putting anything in. That could come in handy. Right, I'll show you that when I actually make a decision what I'm going to do. Right, edge. What am I putting into edge? No. Maybe later. Right. They're bound to put something in their edge anyway. Do I want to risk doing anything? No, I'm gonna pass and see if they actually put one in. 3. That is in, isn't it? Yep, they will put one in. Pass. 3. Right, they pass. So they're gonna win. Well, deadly sight. On pip. Could have beaten them. Right. Here we go then. Can we survive? Is the question. Right, now Saris is the one who technically will attack first. Got more icons and does stuff. So let's work this out. So Saris will strike and she'd likely target Jin. This might work. Might be okay. So Jin will take a damage and a focus token. Right, so that's the end of that. Then it's my turn. So Baze will strike. He will do 1 damage. And then he will deal 1, 2, 3, which takes out those guys. Nice. Oh, Baze is good at clearing defenders. Right. So he's struck. Now let's do some janky stuff. Right. He will play. Well, I might have to save that to next turn because I'm really close to. I'm going to blow it. I'm going to blow that objective up this turn. I'm going to play second chance. Return a character to my own hand. Boom. So a rogue has left. This triggers. I'm actually going to put the damage here for the trigger on the mother's nest. Right. So return into my hand. Right. That's phase 1 done. I am then going to trigger this enhancement. So I get to focus this enhancement and discard a card from your hand. I'm going to discard this rogue card. discard this road card. This now comes off. Remove the focus from Jin. Right, Jin now strikes. Boom. Does the final bit of damage needed for that. And does focus. We are going to not focus Seventh Sister. We are going to focus the Fifth Brother because we do not want him in doing anything. And then we do 1 damage to Saris. Right. I can get rid of this stunning blow, so after a target unit takes 1 or more damage, place a focus token on it. She ain't coming back for a little while now. So that eats that card up. Good. And yeah, so we have taken our first objective. We have got rid of Dark Lord of the Sith God, but it may be too late. At least I've done something for the video. Let's try and move things along because this is taking a bit longer than I would normally. That's the end of my phase. Because of that will trigger. So we get 1, 2, 3. I'm not too bothered. It's coming over soon anyway. No one going on the force. That'll be for my next turn if I get there. Fortunately, Dahl is now on 11. I don't think they will win it this turn, so I'll get 1 more turn. I ain't gonna do 2. So I have lost. Because that's the unfortunate thing with the time. With not being able to do multiple engagements, it does make it a little more difficult. So let's do this turn. So refresh phase. Take that off. Take that off. Take it off. Take 2 off. Take that off. New objective is to purge. Like they needed any more resources. Right. Resource wise, they are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my god. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm probably going to play the whole hand out this turn. Right, so top up the hands. Fake cards need another 2. And this needs another 3. 1, 2, 3. Shuffle this one up. Right. Here we go. She's out of the game, so we've got these units available still, and we're likely to have some more. That's all we got. We drew him, Darth Vader. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we still have lots more things on the way. Definitely dead. Next card is Jedi Prey, our new one. Play only if the balance force with the dark side reaction. After an enemy unit is destroyed during an engagement, remove 1 focus token from a target objective you control. It was a Jedi unit, so up to X objectives. So that one just sits there. I don't actually think that one's going to go off. So that's 1. Next card in hand. The second sister. All of the whole Inquisition is coming. So that's 3. She's an Inquisitor, so that triggers. Oh no, that triggers first, but I forgot that. It doesn't matter. Right, so she comes in for 2. And, yep, she's back in. And still got resources to play. No one expects Inquisition, so that goes on the fake deck. Another card, double-bladed lightsaber. Enhance an Inquisitor unit. Enhance unit gains a gun. Cool. Go anywhere, really. Who do we want to put it on? Probably targeting goes on the best person, so Seventh Sister is the highest, and Vader isn't an Inquisitor, so but it could be the Inquisitor. So if we could make the fifth brother die, then my Grand Inquisitor card then moves over. Unfortunately, onto another Inquisitor. I could play the Grand Inquisitor card on Vader, and he would be the master of the Inquisitors. Right, still got resources. The last card in the hand. It's the other seventh sister. So it goes back there. I've seen people where when they can't play it, they put it on their fake card. I'm not doing that. Doesn't work for me. Right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units available, and then we've got to work out who's attack. Right. So Vader's definitely an attacker because he's got the bombs. Seventh sister hasn't got the bombs, but she is better when she is attacking. So you have to take that into account. And he's a defender. They're a defender. Now, so it's a toss up basically whether seventh sister should go in for the attack or not. Shall I just be nice to myself and send these 3 in, keep these 2 back, and see what happens? Right. So I don't have any defenders. Vader's going to clear house anyway. So let's see if they want to put anything in the. Well, we've got edge 2 because we're going up against the Jedi objectives. I don't need it, but they might really just run the cards. Right, 1 in. I think that's a pass because they got 1 more. Yep. So no one expects Inquisitions. Yep, so they got lots of edge for this turn. Right. So time to strike. Striking order. Vader being highest cost, and that goes first. So this unit gains a gun while your opponent has 2 or more exhausted units. Unfortunately, I do. And when it revolves, its damage icons assign damage to a target non-participating exhausted enemy unit. So I've got a choice of who I want to pick. I would be targeting probably Jin. So Jin goes bye-bye. Jin. Fortunately, the only good thing is when a rogue unit leaves playing, because this is their turn, I get to do an objective damage. Boom! Right. So, and then Vader does 2. So he's done. Right. Seventh sister next. 2 focus tokens. It's going to focus base. Do a bomb. I might have been lucky here. We're still not able to take it out. And then second sister looks out base. So he isn't doing anything, and they're done. Right. That's the end of the dark side turn, and because they still don't get unopposed, it is still in the fallen order. 1 objective. Who came up with that card? Right. So they're my potential defenders for the next turn. Just need a bomb turn. Right. Yeah, force phase. Right, so what would happen is, now, being that Vader's in the mix, probably the 5th brother would come off the force, and Vader would go on the force. And there we go. Right, so this is going to be the last rebel turn, because I'm not going to win unless I can do something crazy. I do have a card that can do something crazy, but it's whether I draw it or not. Anyway, before we get there, so let's refresh. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then take 2 off because he's elite. What cards have I got? That's a good card. That's a good card. That isn't doing anything, so I'm going to discard rules to survive, and I get to draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Not the card I'm looking for. Could be interesting. Right. So I'm going to be digging for an event, which, let's actually see if it's actually in my discard, because if it is, then there's no point digging, and I think there's only one copy of it. It might be the only thing that I can work that could get me out of trouble some amazing way. Right. So I've drawn 2 Blood That Brings Life, so I can bring 2 rogues back in. And I've got a way of double striking with Jin if I get one of them in the discard pile. Not got a great defense, so I need to do a lot of damage and then rely on other effects to destroy the last one. Right. How are we going to work this? Right, so let's look in our discard pile for rogues. We have Jin. We don't want the Cloud Rider, he's not doing anything. We've got Saw's in there. He's packing 2 bombs. I think I'm going to have to play the 2 people that was the most opportune to cause damage. So we'll move to the conflict phase. Right. So I'm going to play 1, the Blood That Brings Life. Play it like that. 1, 2. So Saw Guerrero's coming in. Right. So remember that at the end of the phase, the person returns to my hand. So he's in there. Then I'm going to play the 2nd Blood That Brings Life. And go boom, boom. And I'm going to play Benthic from my hand. Right. So we really need to. I think I'm going to have to clear these guys out. That's the problem. Could do with drawing some targets of opportunity. Right, seeing as I'm not doing that, I'm going to do this. So I am going to focus a Rebel Plea to discard a Rebel Saboteur and then draw 2 cards. Did I get it? Did I get it? No. Didn't get the card I was looking for. Oh well. Right. I can only play what you got. So let's stick these 2 into Order of the Inquisitors. These 2 will defend. I've got edge 1, so I will pass. Let's see if I make use of this edge 1. It doesn't actually tell you what you should do when they've got edge 1, so I guess we just follow the normal rules. So yeah, they all put 1 in. And then I will put 1 in, last turn, see what they do. They have passed. Ooh. Do I think I can beat the card that they've put in? I'm going to risk it for my biscuits. Right, so they have a 1, yes, and I've got 3, so I win. We do. So, he stays in, right. Let's do some hurt. Saw is going to go boom and take this guy out. Take that guy out. Drop 2 damage. And if I could do unit damage, I could almost do this. that's it, he's done. ID Striker strikes next, so he'll put his damage there. Then Benfic, he'll strike, do his 2 damage. Oh, shame. Right. And that's it, I'm afraid, guys. So, but this is what happens. You get focused, then they come back to my hand at the end of the phase, which allows me to trigger Mother's Nest once, unfortunately, which then I can now take that out. So we'll get a moral victory of being able to have taken out 2 objectives. Unfortunately, I was hoping for some other janky stuff where I could start doing extra objective damage. So looking Saw Gerrera's set for that event card. So that can be stuff. So yeah, they come back to hand. I actually can get to trigger this. That's a Twist of Fate. And that is it. We failed. That goes off. And then they win because I didn't attack. So that goes boom. Star goes up to 13 and the Dark Side win. And that's the end of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Right, sorry it went on for a bit, and sorry if there were any pauses or mistakes in there, but it can be, when it gets quite complex, it can get there, but I find it a good puzzle. It's always challenging when you're playing against someone. I think the puzzle element from there is when you are having to do edge battles and facing off against someone, and you're wondering when you can trigger your events and do some of the janky plays like that. In this format, it's how can you do your attacks clever enough to try and minimize the swing. So you know that the way the AI selects its attackers and defenders, you need to know who you need to lock out at certain points. So instead of locking out the big hitters, if you're willing to let some of your objectives sacrifice, then you want to start taking out some of these pesky defenders. So it did make it a lot easier towards the end of the game, where all they were defending with was Purge Troopers, and the actual Inquisitors were locked out or weren't doing much. But as you can see, without any type of board clearance, the dark side board just built up terribly, and it can be difficult to manage. So definitely some interesting deck building challenges there. So I hope you've enjoyed this playthrough, and hopefully I can make some more. I enjoyed that, and hope you did too. So thanks for watching, and see you later.